Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Blue Collar Minuteman Show, where we're just trying to get to the election. Bill, how's it going?
Well, 30 days, about what, 32 days?
Yeah, that's about.
I'll let you know after that how I'm doing.
Right. Hey, folks, as always, before we get started, make sure you hit that like, subscribe button, share these videos, and once you subscribe to them, you get notifications anytime a new video comes out for you all. That way you won't have to worry about looking for it. And as that being said, folks, we're going to jump right into it. So there has been a lot going on. Where to start, I don't know. But folks, we'll just tell you, be prepared. Be prepared for anything. It never hurts to be prepared. Bill, I stocked up on some flour, cornmeal, got some jugs of water. You know, some people stocked up on gas.
I got beans, gas, rice. I went out and bought these 5-gallon buckets, Lowe's with the lids on them.
Yep, I got some sitting over here. Actually.
And well, I took like the beans, and cut them into meal size portions. I got one of those heat sealers.
Yeah.
And vacuum sealers, sucked all the air out, vacuum seal them, put them in those buckets, and they'll stay in there for a long time. And get rice, the beans. The beans, you got to have protein.
Right.
If you're,
I got some pinto beans and some navy beans.
Yeah, that's what I got. If you're not a big hunter and you're not going to be able to go out and hunt and get meat, beans is a good form of protein.
Right. Now, folks, we're saying all of this because I think you and I were talking before this podcast last week is when all this stuff went down with the ports, and they wanted 77% increase, the ILA did?
Yeah.
Now, the last thing I saw on that was they kind of agreed to a 62%.
Well, what they agreed to was to hold off until January. So they went back to work. Basically, because DeSantis said, well, I'm going to bring in the National Guard to do your job. So they agreed to hold off until after the election, or actually till January.
Right. Well, that's been the big thing because let's face it, Bill, if the ports aren't bringing in any goods, then there's going to be a gap in supply chain.
Yep.
And folks, that's one of the reasons why we're saying be prepared. But then we also have sitting on the edge of war between Israel and Iran. That's another thing you've got to worry about. So, folks, just be prepared.
And
it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. If you got a generator already, make sure that bad boy is ready to run.
Because you see what's going on down just south of us there in Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida. Never know when they're going to whip up a storm and send it your way.
Yeah, and we'll get to that too in this podcast. Well, shoot, let's just go ahead and discuss it. So, you sent me an article that says that, well, basically, it's one guy saying they are modifying the weather, is what this article says.
Well, okay. And people say, oh, that's conspiracy theory. The History Channel did a special on it in 2009. And at that point, they were able to cause earthquakes and tornadoes. That was in 2009. Imagine how far HAARP has come since then.
And you know what, folks? Just to kind of prove that point, I did look this up on look it up on YouTube. I typed in History Channel, and I typed in History Channel HAARP. And what I got was, now, whether this is part of it or not, Bill, there is a guy who actually in I think it was after World War II, started working with the CIA on weather control.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that the St. Louis Arch was actually created as a part of an experiment for weather control.
Right.
And that was on the History Channel. I don't know if you guys can see that or not.
I can't. It's not coming in.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely there, people. I mean,
just look it up.
History Channel did a special on it. Now, I think it was 2019. The View, your favorite show, discussed modifying the weather, how the government is now capable of modifying the weather. They discussed that on The View. All right. CBS sent a correspondent to Dubai.
Yeah.
Because they make it rain there whenever they want. All right. Because they're in a desert. They got green grass growing in the streets, everything else, because they have rain. Why do they have rain? Because every time, and this is the guy at the Weather State channel there, their weather control center.
Right.
Every time they pick up a cloud on the radar, they send jets up to see this cloud, and they get rain.
No wonder Dubai is such a wealthy, rich country.
Hey, they've been doing it. Come on now. I'm just saying. Just saying.
Well, like we were saying, folks, it's not science fiction anymore. We've preached it several times before, at least I have, that they learned a lot from World War II, and they have continued educating themselves since then with different experiments. Now, Bill, let's touch on something too. I heard a crash. Yeah. There was a crash back there. Don't worry about it. But, this hurricane went through, and FEMA is supposed to be helping everybody. And what's happening?
According to Kamala, they are.
Oh, okay.
Doing what they're supposed to do.
Well, reports are coming through that what they're supposed to do and what they're doing are two different things. Meaning they're not helping anyone, period. And just to go along with that, Bill, I was watching Terrence Williams earlier today, and he was literally telling everyone, do not allow FEMA to take any donations because they are not getting them to the people.
Right. I saw that. He's actually down there, for people who don't know, Cousin T's down there making pancakes for people.
Mm-hmm. I saw that.
I think he fed like 2,000 people. He's actually cooking. He's cooking pancakes and sausage patties, and he's there helping. He's doing what he can. So he's there.
You notice,
you should know what's going on.
Yeah, if you notice, where's Kamala? Where's Biden?
She's there now.
Oh, she is? Oh.
She is. She was there helping serve some meals today, photo op. But how many days has it been since this thing happened? Trump was there. Trump was there, already been there and done some stuff and left.
Yep. So I will say this, and folks, if y'all don't have the word out there, if you are going to be donating goods, I've heard this from several people, make sure they're going to local churches in the area to help get those goods to people. So if you want to donate, find one of the churches. Churches will be the best, or one of the local nonprofit groups that's there. Give them the donations. Just make sure you're not giving it to FEMA, because those people are not getting any information or getting any food. Now, Bill, there was another thing too where did you see the guy who's actually using donkeys and mules to get food over the mountain?
Yep.
I love it. You cannot stop people. Oh, all right. Now, something else we should mention, Bill, that that was going on. Let's see, I didn't even get to the Hillary Clinton thing yet, have I?
Oh, yeah.
So Hillary went to CNN and she announced that they were losing control and that social media companies should increase their censorship of conservative misinformation. So let's see if I can get this to play. This is very short.
We should be, in my view, repealing something called Section 230, which gave platforms on the internet immunity because they were thought to be just pass-throughs, that they shouldn't be judged for the content that is posted. But we now know that that was an overly simple view, that if the platforms, whether it's Facebook or Twitter X or Instagram or TikTok, whatever they are, if they don't moderate and monitor the content, we lose total control. And it's not just the social and psychological effects, it's real harm. We should be, in my view, repealing something called Section 230, which gave platforms on the internet immunity because they were thought to be just pass-throughs, that they shouldn't be judged for the content that is posted. But we now know that that was an overly simple view, that if the platforms, whether it's Facebook or Twitter X or...
So it's playing over. But do you hear that crap? I think that they're mad because they can't contain what's actually happening over there in North Carolina with the people. I mean, is that what you're gathering, Bill?
Well, Elon says they're blocking him from getting a bunch of his satellites in there. Combat Cats here. Because they don't want these people putting out what really is happening.
Well, yeah. We don't want people to know that there are people in there dying.
Well, the Christian Rangers, they're called.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently a bunch of veterans.
Really?
We're acting on behalf of the Sheriff's Department and the Fire Department to assist hurricane victims.
Mm-hmm.
We got a speech here, if I can find it, from the sheriff, one of the sheriffs, who said, if FEMA stands in our way, I will have them arrested. And he told people arm themselves and protect themselves because the government ain't going to do it.
What is the Democrats' motto? Never let a good tragedy go unused or wasted.
Okay, General Flynn. We all know who General Flynn is.
Right.
He went down there. He's confirmed the death count is upwards of 1,000 people, which is 4 times higher than what the media is reporting. He predicts that by the time we find everybody, there's going to be 2,000 dead. So they're not telling you the whole story, and they're trying to keep the internet blacked out so that people can't get out the information.
Right. And that's why they're trying to shut down Elon Musk's Starlink system.
Mm-hmm. Now, Elon ain't got no reason to lie. He
No.
just took a bunch of Starlinks down there and was trying to give them away for free. And the government told him no. Government tried to seize his shipment.
It amazes me how one man can just actually do things to help people and to help people prosper. And the own government just hates him for it. Now, folks, if you remember from last podcast, if you remember what I said, there's a large vein of lithium that runs through there and underneath that ground over there in North Carolina. And we said last podcast that an Australian company had bought property. So everything that we're telling you is starting to make sense to you now. You start to see what they're doing.
All right. Tulsi just got back. She said, I just landed. I went through North Carolina and Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to put in words the devastation of so many towns literally washed away when a wall of water swept through their town. Unfortunately, there's still many people who are not getting the assistance they need. Their local emergency resources are overwhelmed. A way ahead is difficult to comprehend at this moment. They need our help. I delivered 2 trailers full of chainsaws, generators, electrolyte, and more that people asked for. We will be sending more direct support. This morning we held a joint fundraiser for the nonprofit, which we must protect, 100% volunteer run, and raised $45,000 to get more supplies to head back in. But she's saying it's bad.
Yeah.
The systems are overwhelmed. And like I said, Glenn Beck, he confronted that. He's with one of the congressmen from North Carolina. And he confronted a FEMA truck, and it was just hidden. Nobody knew it was there. Here sits the FEMA truck, and there's nobody there. And they're like, well, FEMA's here. Why isn't anybody lined up here to get help from FEMA? And she goes, well, we don't have no internet, so we really can't do anything. So, but then there's been reports of thousands of people, I guess. I don't know. It says in here it's multiple people. You know, I mean, it's an unbelievable amount of people have applied for the FEMA $750.
Oh, jeez.
By the way, people, that's what FEMA and Kamala Harris said they're going to give out here is $750 for these people. That's a couple days in 3-4 days in a hotel or a week's worth of groceries. That's the plan, give $750. And they're denying people. Okay, this one woman, she was just didn't know what to do. I mean, she was, and she's sitting there screaming, and the sheriff's there talking to her. She's like, look, my wallet's gone. You know, everything I got on, what I got on is what I have.
Right.
They won't give me any assistance because I don't have an ID. But you don't have to have an ID to vote.
Well, if you remember, you don't have to have an ID for them to put all them illegals up in different places either.
Or to fly on an airplane.
Well, they can use their warrants for that.
Yeah, they can use their warrants.
You can't make this up. So you see where you rank, you American people. This is where you rank in the Democrats' way of thinking.
Here's my thing. They say Trump's lying when he says that they used the funds because FEMA, first of all, came out and said they didn't have enough funds to cover hurricane season.
Yes.
Now they're backtracking that, saying, because Trump said, well, you spent it all on the illegals. And so now they're saying he's lying, he's disinformation, we didn't do that, blah, 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 blah. Well, then my question is, where'd the money come from you are spending on the illegals if it didn't come from FEMA? It's got to come from somewhere. If it didn't come from FEMA, it's Social Security. Is it? We already know they stole from Medicare. We're just finding this out. I don't know if you knew about this. They took money from Medicare. This came out this week.
Uh-huh.
Biden administration took a big chunk of money out of Medicare to pay for the EV tax cut, the electric vehicle tax cut. All right. They had to pay for it. So they took the money from Medicare. Then they took another chunk of money from Medicare and paid the insurance companies not to raise the rates until next year for Medicare.
Now, Bill, hang on a second. Didn't not too long ago that they say that Trump was going to kill Medicare?
Oh yeah. Well, they've done destroyed it. Now here's the thing: they know Trump's going to win,
Oh,
and
of
they've
course.
done all this shit to Medicare. So now his first year in office, Medicare premiums are going to go sky high, and people's going to be rioting and going crazy, saying it's Trump's fault. But
Yeah,
they've
well, it's-
already screwed that because they stole all the money out of Medicare.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Well, we're keeping up with it, so we know that. But the thing is we got to get the word out to the people who may not understand it. But then it might be hard to talk to them about like talking to a brick wall.
Yeah.
But I see what you're saying. It's all part of the setup.
Yep. And it's like they were interviewing Mike, Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson.
Mhm.
And they kept asking him questions, which were just like gotcha questions, you know. They
Yeah.
asked him, you know, they went on, you know, well, can you unequivocally say Trump lost the 2020 election? And he's like, Johnson's like, see, you're asking these gotcha questions. Oh, you're not going to answer, just like JD. So, see, you both are in denial, blah, blah, blah. He goes on. And he asked him another question. I can't remember what it was. And finally, he just looked at him and goes, Trump's going to win. And they ended the interview.
Oh, well, Bill, I just found something. You had sent this to me, so you may have to look back at it. But on a different subject, they may have found out who the cocaine belonged to in the White House.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Cocaine Kamala.
Oh, you gave it away.
People, they have several sources in the White House that have come forward now to say, and this is the thing, they're not even upset that the cocaine belongs to Kamala and that she's coking it up every day. They're pissed off because she blamed it on Hunter. Let Hunter take the fall.
Which, if you listen to this guy, he says, you know, it makes sense now, some of the insane laughter that she does. Inappropriate laughter, he said.
Yeah.
So now, you know, I'm going to have to apologize to Carl. Carl, I was wrong. It wasn't Hunter. I'm sorry. I was the bigger person. I just thought. My bad. I can admit when I am wrong.
Yeah, Carl. It was Kamala. Sorry. We jumped the gun on blaming it on Hunter.
You know, the pictures of him with a crack pipe and all of the rest of it. I mean, but Well, that does explain her inappropriate laughter and little outbursts, and yeah.
All right, one more thing I'd like to get at real quick because we got about 10 minutes.
All right.
Is Hurricane Milton
Mm.
is headed straight for Tampa. All right. That's going to be 2 hit the region.
Hmm.
I got a buddy that's there that lost everything. And I've putting up a link. If y'all could find it in your hearts to give a donation to him, he's lost his house. His daughter lived next door to him. She lost her house. They're living in a hotel day to day. They have insurance, but the insurance people is dragging their ass down there in Florida.
Yeah, they're not going to pay out anytime soon.
Well, yeah, they're not even. He's got like a month to wait before they're even going to do the walkthrough. There'll be 2 more hurricanes before then.
Yeah.
But I'm going to put a link up on the website and on our Facebook page if you would take a look at it. See, he's a veteran. I served with him. Love the guy to death. He's a true brother. If you can find in your hearts to donate, he'd appreciate it, and so would I. I do thank you. One more thing is Milton's coming, and I don't know if you've seen this yet, but somehow they're predicting a storm is going to start off the coast of California. It's going to come inland, go across Mexico, hit the Gulf, go down to the Yucatan Peninsula, then turn back up to Florida as a hurricane.
I ain't never heard that before in my damn life.
I don't know.
If
That's
that
what they're
happens,
saying. That's what they're saying.
if that happens, I am definitely going to be screaming. They're controlling the weather.
Yeah. Yeah.
I ain't never heard of that.
Okay.
I've been on this earth almost 50 years.
That's what they're predicting. So that'll be 3 right here in just insane amount of time. I mean,
You would think that if it came across land, it's going to dissipate before it gets back to the water. Never mind.
look at where this one started.
On the West Coast.
No, this one started inside the little Yucatan Peninsula. I mean, it just started here, and it's just.
Oh, geez. Well, folks, like I said, just
it makes my head hurt to think about this stuff.
I know. What you just told me just made my head hurt.
Another thing, old Bruce Springsteen, you all remember him?
The boss.
Well, he's the bitch now. He says he's going to lead the country if Trump's elected, and at Trump, he's making ads right now, TV spots, saying Trump is the most dangerous candidate ever in his lifetime.
Real.
Yeah. So, my good friend Lisa, our researcher, she's kind of brought up maybe having a record burning. Get together in a big field and burn some of his records and stuff. Do it live on YouTube. Send us a message if y'all might be interested in that. She says she's got a lot of people that want to.
Well, we'll air it here. We can show a clip of it.
We'll go live.
Well, that's all I got, Bill.
Well, did you see Trump's speech in Pennsylvania?
He had a great speech. I've looked at some highlights. Elon Musk spoke.
Big that crowd was.
Yes, they were lined up for miles.
My God! And did you see the way he started?
I didn't see how he started, no.
He throws up that chart that he was getting ready to go over when he got his ears shot.
Yeah.
He throws up that chart and he says, "Now, as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by a bullet." And he started right where he left off.
You gotta love the guy.
I know. They're saying the big thing, the Dems are all saying today that the only reason that Elon is backing Trump is because he wants the big corporate tax cut. Yeah.
I don't think he worries about that. to be
I
honest
don't
with
think he does either.
you. No. All right, Bill. Well, we're getting close.
Yeah, we're at 3 minutes. All right. You got anything else?
That's all I got.
Just pray for everybody down in the southeast because it's coming. Another one's coming, and
Yeah.
they're not even recovered from this one yet. So
And folks, be prepared. And if you can, help where you can, donate where you can. Just don't donate to FEMA.
apparently that's not a good thing.
No. So, folks, thank you all for joining us as always. Make sure you check out the website, bluecollarminutemen.com. Bill's going to have the link up there where you can donate to his friends down in Florida. Good people need our assistance. And check us out on MeWe, Spreely. We're on Instagram. Check out Rumble, BitChute, and YouTube, as well as YouTube for these videos. Make sure you share them, like them, subscribe. Thank you all for joining us. God bless you all. God bless America. Let's stick together and we'll get through this. And we'll see you.
Stay safe.